Okay, so we will select our table. What is that table? Join request A, open it. Okay, select all, perfect. See, this is a SQL basically, right? This is a SQL and this is called a graphical presentation of a SQL, right? Next, finish. Perfect, right? So this is my window. Let me minimize, like let me reduce the size of these columns. Okay, approved by is so high. Okay, user ID, let me minimize it. Perfect. We can do modifications later. Let's come to the actual point. You can change, like you can make the header like this, and you can change the background color. It's like button face. Yeah. And D underscore A double P R O V E R E Q. Okay. Save it. Perfect. Now what we will do is we will take that the which we have just created. Perfect. Right? If you think that, hey, I want to change something, how you will reach to this de-approve request? You can go from the browser, or you can just right click and modify data window, right? This is how you can do it, and you can change according to your need. Perfect. Now let me save it. What I will do is we will call this window, right? We have a w underscore approve underscore request. Let's go to the menu. Where is my menu? How I can go? I'll go here, menu. This is my menu. Edit it, close it. Okay, approve request. Let me go to this create a society. Double click or script, and then copy this. Go to this script, paste it. Simple. W underscore A double P R O V E underscore R E Q. Perfect. Now what will happen? That login screen is my dummy screen. Okay. I mean, because in development phase, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not focused about like, this login screen. I'm focused like, only for my screen, which is given to me. Now I'll go here, click here, right? So you can see this window, but there is nothing. So what should I do? Now close this one. I'll open on the window which I'm working on, W approve request. And then what I'll do is I will write on open event dw underscore one dot req, sorry, set transobject, set trans object. सबसे पहले ये लाइन लिखी जाती है, सबसे पहले SQLCA, and that is the reason we are writing on the open event of this window, because जब भी हम विंडो को ओपन करेंगे, so the open event gets executed first, right? And then dw underscore one dot retrieve. What is this? Retrieve. What this retrieve function does? Retrieve function will take this SQL, and will execute in the database, and whatever data will come, it will show here. Now let's see how does it work. Finish, whatever you want to type. Okay, you can see here, right? You can see here, right? Because whatever the data was there, it is bringing. Now you can delete, you can type also. Why? Because Yes, this is also like a kind of like you can make this as an entry screen also. The only thing is it is in a kind of tabular form, so that's not a problem, right? But our purpose is like we don't want to do any change here. We just want to see that okay, what all my approval request. See, you are the admin of a society, right? So you would like to see on daily basis that how many requests are pending, or somebody is just calling me on phone, hey, can you please approve my request? I say okay, let me go and see if you have raised a request. Then I'll come to this screen and approve that request. So I'm just going to click on a approve button rather than doing any change here, right? So let me do that. So I'm not going to change anything, any information here. My purpose is I will approve it or reject it. Simple. I don't want to make any change in this information, right? Okay, let me do that. So that is one thing. I told you one more thing, that okay, so that it should not confuse others, that you are able to type in. Just हाँ लगाएंगे लगाएंगे, ठीक है. So let me put 0 0 0 0 0 0. What is this? This is tab size. This is tab size. If you will make tab 0, tab order 0, then you will not be able to do any change in that. It is, you are making that data window as a read only. See, you can select it, but you cannot do anything, right? You cannot do anything. Perfect. Now so what I can do is I can select one row at a time and click on approve button. Let me put some button also here. See, ये मत सोचना कि मेरे को पहले से ये सारी चीजें कैसे पता है, राइट? बिकॉज मुझे थोड़ा सा एक्सपीरियंस है, इसलिए मैं मुझे वो समझ में आ रहा है कि मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. बट इट डजंट, तो आप भी जैसे जैसे काम करते जाओगे यू विल आल्सो गेट टू नो इट कि हाँ मुझे कहाँ पे क्या चीज लेनी चाहिए. You just need to focus on the technical part, that hey, I created a window, I took like this presentation style was great, right? And then I that this set trans object and then retrieve, right? Just to retrieve that information, and then I am going to approve it. I am going to approve it. Approve means that this request is approved, right? Perfect. So what should I do? What should I do? Uh, okay. So now let's say if I'm getting 10 records or 20 records or 13 records, right? Let's request for, let me get one more record here. Finish or whatever, right? Let's take approval request, not triple request. Let me go here. Let me join this society this time, right? Society ID is this. My unit number is 1023 and area is 1200 square feet or 12,000 1200. Join. Okay. See, again, I should give a message that whether my record was successfully processed or not, right? But anyway, let's check whether a request is created or not. See, one more request is created, right? Similarly, if I click here and join this one, join, right? So I can go and check here, right? 3 records are created. Okay, perfect. So 3 records have been created, right? Now what I can do is I can click one record, I can select one record and approve it, right? I can select one record and approve it, right? Then then again, like it is a we should always try to make it easy, right? So what I want is I want to add just one column which is like, checkbox column, right? Let me do that 1 second. So we can add, so whatever the columns you are, you are able to see here, those columns are already part of database. Those columns are already part of database, right? So now I want to have one, checkbox in this data window, right? So what I can do is I can just go and modify. Okay, I can add a dummy column. I can add a dummy column. How do I do that? Uh, okay, go here. No, sorry, sorry. Huh? Maybe भूल रहा हूँ धीरे धीरे. Okay, no worries. What I'll do is I'll go here in the data source. Okay, and then convert to syntax. Okay, and then I will add a dummy column. What is that dummy column? 0 chk. Okay, in your SQL, see, you have added one more column, 0 chk. 0 is a constant value, right? It is not a column, right? It is a constant value, and then I have given the name as chk. Don't worry, like, you will get to know. Okay, so you have added a column chk. You can see that is being added to this one, but I don't want in the back, I want in the front. So remove it. I deleted that column from here. If you are deleting from here, it doesn't mean that it is deleted from the SQL. It is just deleted from the presentation. Okay, now what I'll do is I will add that column back here. So what you will do is, it is a so you will just go and click here on the first column, and then go and find this column here in the column list. Place a column, click here. See, all columns are here. Let's say by mistake if you have deleted any column, right, from this presentation style, so you can get it back from here in the select column. Don't worry, you will do the practice and you will come to know. So only this column we want. I click on this one. So you can see this check is added. This check, you can keep any name. Okay, chk I just kept like that only. Perfect. Now what I'll do is I can change the header part of this. chk is like, I'm not liking it, so I'll just remove this, or you can say select. Okay, and I want to change the this column like this, so I can just go here to like that and change to button face and put like this. But this is not check still, right? So okay, if you want to change the type of a column, you want to convert your checkbox to checkbox, you come here. Okay, see, as I told you, every column has its own properties, right? So we will play with the columns properties now. Select the column which you want to change, go to edit. Okay, in edit we have a style type. Okay, ये इंटरव्यू का क्वेश्चन रहेगा, but I will tell you in detail, don't worry. You are going to make a column as checkbox. Select checkbox, right? So if you want to make a column as checkbox, now you want a look, right? This, so what I want, 3D look. Okay, then what should be the value at the time of on or off? So let's say if it is 0, then off, If it is on, then 1. Okay. What it means is like, by default 0. And if you will select on means when you will select it, you'll have 1. You can see that we got a checkbox for this select. Okay. Right. And let's make this as a center. How do I do that? Something should be here. This one, alignment. Let me make this also as center. Perfect. Save it. Run it. Right? You can see, but you are not able to select it. Right? Even though I'm clicking on this one, but I'm not able to select it. You know why? Because when you add a column, by default, its tab order is 0. So let me do something. Let me check what is the tab order. 0, right? Because I'm going to select this one. So let me keep 10. Save it, run it. Go to this approval request. See, right? You can select it now, right? You can select one or all. Now let's say you have 10 records. So what you will do? You will select each record again and again, right? There should be an option that, okay, select all or unselect all, right? Select all or unselect all, right? And then you should be able to approve or reject whatever you want to do. Correct? Perfect. So let's approve it now. What do we want to do when we want to click on approve button? Okay. See, in this table, we have a column called approve request. Okay. Sorry, we have a column called approval status. Okay. That approval status can be rejected, means the value which can be of the approval status is approved or rejected, otherwise blank. Right? Blank is why? Because like when we are creating a request, though we can keep a status over there as well, like open or whatever, right? But we are keeping right now as null, like blank, you can say. So that is also fine, right? Okay. So let me approve this request. Okay. So what should I do? What should I do? I can do in two ways, right? One is I can do from the data window itself, that I will update the columns, sorry, the rows which are selected. In those rows, right? In those rows, I can just update the value of the approval status. Let me see what is the column name. See, we have approved by, approved on. Okay, but we don't have a status anywhere. Then how do I know that this request is approved or not? So I did a mistake that I left. We should have one column, right, which should tell that this request is approved, or this request is rejected, or this request is uh, this request is still open, right? So we should have at least one column which should tell us like that. Now what we should do? If we forgot to add one more column, we should add that column in this window, right? And then we should proceed. But we cannot add because that is not there in the table. So first of all, we should add in the table. Then we should add in the data window object. And then we should work on that. Right? So let me do that. No worries. We'll go back and we will go to the database. What was the table name? Join request A, right? We will alter table. Okay, we will just add one more column, A double P R O V E, approve. Approval status, double P R O V A L, approval status, status, right? Let's keep varchar, right? A double P R O V E, that's it. E D, approved. 10 characters are fine, right? Perfect. You have added one column here, but it doesn't mean that it is added here. You have to add it at your own, right? How you can do that? See, that was the dummy column which you added, right, in the SQL. Now you want to add the actual column. Go back to the data source, right? This is in which mode? It is a kind of syntax mode. You can bring it back to the graphic mode, convert to graphic mode. You can see one column is missing, right? Just select it. Go back. Let's check in the SQL. What is my SQL? You can see down this one, right? So this column is being added. There is one more way to add it. What is that way? Hey, you can convert to syntax and you would have written this statement here. Sorry, this column here. Then that is so, like as I told you, there are many ways to solve a problem, right? So this is like you can add a column directly here, or you can go to your graphics mode, select the unselect column if you want, right? And then come back. You can see that column here, approval status, right? This column is here, right? Okay. So we can change size to, like, whatever this one, it is like 9 characters. So let me change it to 9, right? And then again this one, and then again the color size like this, and then make it to this one. Perfect. Done. Right? Now what I will do is, see, there are 3 columns: approved by, approved on, right? And this one, approval status, right? So approval status. So what I will do is, uh, I will go here, right? I will find this column, right? Like what I will do is, I will get, okay, how many are my selected records, right? So I go here, and then how many records I have, dw underscore 1 dot row count. Okay, what it will give me? It will give me, 1 second guys, let me just, क्या प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हें? क्या प्रॉब्लम था? टेबल चाहिए, देगा, जाओ. Okay, perfect. So let me go here. I I will, so what it does, it will return the number of records. Then what we will do, we will put a for loop. Okay, and let's store here ll underscore row count or li. Li underscore incr. Okay, what I will do is I will for loop equal to 1 to this next. So what it is doing, it will count all the records, and what we are doing is we are like checking each record that what is the value of my chk variable column. So local li underscore chk equal to get item number li underscore incr, what is my row number, what is my column chk. So this get item number dw underscore 1 dot. So now you got like four function: set trans object, retrieve, row count, okay, and get item number. What this get item number does is it gets the value of a particular row and column. Okay, so let's uh, type a message book. Okay, let's check what is that value basically. Or let's do one more thing. What is that? If this value is 1, then and if control X, control V, right? So what I want to do is, okay, INFORMAT information SELECTED selected, और अगर ऐसा नहीं है then control C ELSE else, control V, not selected. Let's see what happens. Run it. Right? So let me click on this not selected, not selected, selected. Right? Let me select one record and then click on approve. Not selected, selected, not selected. Right? Why it is so? What I want to do is I want to approve. I want to put a value in approval status as approved. If I click on approved, right? Why do I want to do that? Because I want to save in the database finally, right? So, but I want to know what all columns, what all rows have to be, saved as an approved. Now it is very easy. Let's do one thing. This column is, I'm not able to see this particular column. Let me bring in front. Okay, just there is one more way. Like I want to get this column in the front with checkbox. Okay, So how do I do that? I can delete it and then I can go here and down it and select that column from controls, right? But if I don't want to do that, there is one more way. Let me try. You can open this in preview mode. This is the preview mode you can see here, right? You can see this is a preview mode. Pick this column, okay, select this column, hold it with your mouse and bring it to front. See the beauty of Power Builder. I love it. That's the reason, because the coding is very easy. Okay, so you can see your column is here in the front. Yeah, perfect. Now save it. Let's go back and run it. You can see this column is here, right? Okay, now otherwise the other way was like, you can delete it and you can choose it from the control again, right? That is one more way of doing it. Perfect. Now what we will do is we will keep like, or so we can just select this thing, the whatever like, we have selected, we can just update as approval status and that's it, right? Okay, let's do that. Approval underscore status. So what I will do is, instead of this message box, what I will do is, so like, we have get item number. Similarly, we have one more function. So get item number is to get the value of that column, right? There is a one more function called set item to set the value, right? So what we are doing, let's not show this message. Okay. Oops. What is happening? Bad number of arguments. Oh, this is the row in which column you want to set the approved. It has three arguments minimum. What is that? A double P R O V A L, approval. What was that? Approval. What was the column name? One second. Let me go back. Yes, approval status. A double P R O V A L underscore status. Right? Approval status, right? So let's do that. What will happen, right? If I select this, क्या किया इसने, वो approved यहाँ उठा के रख दिया, right? Let's say approve, right? Let's say this approve. Perfect, right? And then once, because you have set the value approval stage approved, then you can save it, save this data window. So what will happen, all records will be saved, right? Let's mention this approved by also. One second, guys. few more few more information I want to save here. Few more information I want to save here. What is that information? This who approved that request, right? Who approved and when it was approved, right? Who approved and when it was approved. Okay. See, purpose is not that you understand this society application, right? Purpose is like, you should get to know how we can add, a column if we missed, right? And how we can save this information. Okay. So let me go here, modify, and let me bring one more column here, which is like, the editable column and this approved on. Okay. So in approved by, what we will do? We will save the user, right? Okay, you have and approved on, you will save the date. Perfect. Let me do that. Go here and then control C, control V, control V, and we want to approved on. Today is power builder function. Let me see if it works here. Control S. Oh, working. Okay. And then we have one more column, approved on, approved by. Yeah. So you know that we have a global variable, GS user ID, right? So let's use that. Approved by, approved underscore by, and then we have GS user, GS underscore user. Oh, sorry. Ignore compilation warning. No, it is saying GS username. It was GS user ID. Control S. Now it is perfectly fine. So when you do control S, what it does, Power Builder compiles that code. Compiles means like it checks, okay, all the syntax and everything is fine or not. Now let's run it. Right? So I'll select these two and approve. Something went wrong. What is that something? At line 9 in checked event of this approve underscore, okay, what is that? An invalid data window row or column. So what does it mean? Either the row number is not correct in Setitem, or or the column name is not right. So you can see it was able to put this approved value in approval status, but when it was trying to put in approved by, it got failed. So maybe the column name is not right. Let's see what is the column name. Approved by. Oh, it was failed on approved approval on. It was approved on, I believe. How we can check the exact column name? Modify. This is the exact column name. Let me copy from here so that I should not control C, two mistakes. And then I will go here. Now you must be thinking like, hey, what then? Why it didn't give us a compilation warning, compilation error at that time? You know why? Because these column names we are giving in string. Okay. तो ये वो तो चेक कर सकता है कि स्ट्रिंग में दिया गया है कि नहीं दिया गया, but what is written over here, that will be checked, some values will be checked at runtime only. Now let's work on this. Let's say Jayasri, because we are not validating here, right? Anything. Login. go here, go here, select, right? So you can see, right? These three values are filled by this approve button. But it doesn't mean that it is saved in the database, right? It doesn't mean that it is saved in the database. What we have done is, with the help of Setitem function, we have set the values in data window. In data window, there is no relation yet with the database. It is still with Power Builder in your application, in your laptop. That's all, right? To save in the database, to save in the database, to save in the database, there is another function. Okay, there is another function called update function. Okay, so what we will do is, after setting these values, we will call update function. We'll call update function, because see, if you go here and run it, right? Let's say Anuj, right? So if you go here, see, you know that why Anuj is coming here, right? Because we have set user ID in global variable, which is accessible everywhere. So GS user ID, and we are setting that value from GS user ID, and that is the reason we are able to see here, right? So if you, because it is not saved, so that is why these columns are blank, isn't it? Because these are not saved, and that is the reason these columns are blank. If it will be saved permanently, then it will not be blank, right? Okay, so after approval this, setting the values dw underscore 1 dot update update, this is the function, this is the function which takes all the records and sending to database, and then saying, hey, save this information. Okay, so, and it returns 1 if it gets succeeds. So if this value is equal to 1, then you can give a message, saved SEUCCESS successfully, control S. Perfect. Let's see what happens, right? This screen is very good. It will, like, bring all the concepts what we are doing. Approved, saved successfully. Now you go back and check the record, see, because it is saved in the database. But wow, beautiful. You can see here this approval status is still not saved, though you set the value, though you set the value. Perfect. Actually, we added this column later. Okay, so when you add a column, you know, after designing your data window, I mean, see, this column we added later, right? So what happens actually, हम सब आएंगे धीरे धीरे, don't worry. Go to the rows and update properties. This column is not selected here actually. So the columns which are selected in this can be updated only, otherwise it will not be updated. We will discuss about this update properties. ये इंटरव्यू में बहुत ज्यादा पूछा जाता है. Okay, don't worry about that part. अभी के लिए just understand what I am telling you guys. Let's say Amit. Perfect. Let me close it and see what is happening. See, saved. अच्छा, मैंने इसको बंद करके ओपन किया, So what it is doing, it is bringing the information from the database, because what I'm doing is I'm calling this dw underscore one dot retrieve, right? So that is why it is like able to retrieve. So don't worry, जैसा मैंने किया है वैसा ही आप लोगों को करना है, ठीक है? जैसा मैंने किया है इस स्क्रीन तक वैसा ही आप लोगों को करना है। एंड देन ये इसको खत्म करो, फिर इस स्क्रीन को हम ऐसा बनाएंगे कि इसमें हमारे सारे फीचर्स क्लियर हो जाए, सारे फंक्शंस क्लियर हो जाए, राइट? एंड देन यू विल स्टार्ट क्रिएटिंग योर ओन विंडोज एंड ऑल। या हाँ जी, बोलो। करेक्ट। अब 1 second, let me stop it first, or let me